Ms. Pooja Upadhyay, where she said that students love their product. In our case, it's a little different. Students don't really love us a lot for obvious reasons, and we're going to talk about it as we go forward into the presentation. So, the topic of digitization in education. Thanks for being the last speaker. The context is beautifully set by all the eminent speakers before me, and all the beautiful work that is being done for the education sector in our country, the way we are evolving, growing, the way we are helping the education community, be it the teachers, administrators, students. And I'm really happy and glad to understand that we are all in sync with what we want as an end result, and that is our youth, our students to grow, become better humans, learn a lot, and move into the right direction. Just to sum it up, become the right human being. And that is what Turnitin is also trying to do in its own way. So digitization, when we talk about digitization, our forte is similarity checking services. We've also forayed into assessment recently, but yeah, primarily if anyone knows us, it's because of certain keywords like anti-plagiarism, originality of documents, etc., etc. So, of course, NDME is also using our services for some time. So, who's Turnitin? I'll quickly, now that we know, and thanks to Sir who introduced saying that we have monopoly in the market, not really, we don't have the monopoly, and that's not we are going to boast about over here. But yes, we certainly have been the pioneers in this sphere. When we talk about it, we recently celebrated 25 years of our inception. We started way back in '98, and just like any other thing in this universe and this planet, we have grown, evolved, and we are present now in 140 countries with thousands of subscribers. And if we talk about India and South Asia, we have more than 1,000 subscribers for the last 20 years. And those who know and understand the importance of originality of documents, they have been using our services for more than 2 decades now. So why we say who is Turnitin? Picking up and building upon what others have said over here, I really liked, and it really resonated within me. We've personified Turnitin. Turnitin is actually the name of the organization, but we kind of personified it because it's not an organization per se. It's basically an entity which has developed a lot of life within it, because we are a cohort of educationists. So there are 2-3 things that I picked up from the past speakers. One is something which is really important, we all know, is collaboration, and that can be done by building a community, and that's what Turnitin is very, very passionate about. So we have something called TEN, Turnitin Educator Network, where we try and have all like-minded educators together, join this community, talk about anything under the sun when it comes to education, how we can make the life better of the teachers, the principals, anyone and everyone associated with the world of education. So community is important, we understand that, and that's how we are also learning while being in the field. Like Ms. Pooja said, that sitting and talking in an AC environment is very easy, but that's not what the real work is. You really need to know the pain points of all our stakeholders, and when we say stakeholders, we know students, teachers, principals, everyone and anyone who's trying to do this beautiful work and make education important. Because वो एक कहावत है ना कि आप कितना भी पैसा अपने बच्चों के लिए छोड़ दो, if they are not literate, if they are not studied well, वो उड़ा देंगे. But then if you give them good education, they will build more, they will create more, and make their lives better, the world better. So that's what we all also believe in very, very passionately. And hence comes our main vision and mission, which is academic integrity. It's a term which is very easy but quite complicated to understand, and people have different notions about what academic integrity can be. So we've heard that, in students' formative years, what you tell them, what you teach them is something which is retained, and that is ingrained. Sir, Mr. Rajiv Khandelwal has talked about a word called intuition. What is intuition? How would you define intuition? It's nothing but a learning which is imbibed, inculcated in you over a period of time. And that's where you have something called gut feeling. That's where you know the difference between right and wrong. And ironically, unfortunately, so always the wrong path is more tempting. You always want to take the route which is more easy. Sometimes it is not so right, but we want to do that. So hence, integrity is something which cannot be taught just like that. And that's why we really, really encourage people to teach this particular concept, not just theoretically, during various modes of transformational teaching at home, as parents, as teachers. Why it is very important? Because when you ultimately, when I say you, here I mean students of course, when you ultimately venture out into this whole wide world where there are all kinds of people that you'll come across, especially what you understand is originality is something that has become really, really important. We did not understand. हमारे ज़माने में copying another student's work or senior's work was okay to do, चलता है, but it's not so anymore. And we have seen, understood through various advisories, circulations, whether it's NEP20 or guidelines, etc. We have understood that what is the difference between one student and another student. सारे बच्चे एक ही स्कूल में पढ़ रहे हैं, सब सेम टीचर्स के थ्रू पढ़ रहे हैं, बट एक को 4 लाख CTC है और एक का 14 लाख. What is the difference? The difference lies in many other things, of course, the personality, the way you conduct yourself, etc., etc. But the soft skills are very, very important. People are being hired now, not more so because of the technical skills, but more so the soft skills. Because tech skills can be taught through tutorials, coachings, etc., etc. But something that you've learned for the 14 years, 15 years, through various modes, through your teachers, directly, indirectly, that cannot be taught in few months or few weeks. And that's why integrity is important. And the key word over here is adversity. So you follow integrity not only when it is convenient, but also when the time is something which is adverse. The situation is not in your favor, but you still do not compromise on that. That's what academic integrity is all about. And that's where we have decided to kind of make it very, very clear what we say is plagiarism. And hence we refrain from using the word plagiarism. We are not really happy about the word if people say that Turnitin is an anti-plagiarism organization, because plagiarism is a very, very strong word. And it varies. It is very subjective. What is considered plagiarism for me may not be plagiarism for you. UGC feels that 14 consecutive words is plagiarism. And